Just wait for the computer to go up.
Jai Srila Prabhupada. Oh wow, Hare Krishna. Shri Ganesha. Jai Shri Ganesha.
So this property, we'll talk a little bit more about the property later on in the presentation. It's quite an old church building, and it was actually opened in 1924. So exactly 100 years ago. Now it's 2024, and this church building is a heritage building. It's built in the old Gothic style that churches were built in, and so you'll still see a lot of the original lights and original windows and panels and things like that. There are some pros and cons with that. Of course, we're not able to knock down walls. Maybe take some questions. Thank you so much, Farouk. And so we have. We're actually going to be walking, so I'm not going to talk for very long. We're all going to have to stand up again pretty soon. So being a heritage listed building, we're not able to necessarily knock out a wall and extend it or something like that. So there are some restrictions in it. So we're working on some different options and different plans for how we might lay the temple out. And we'll talk a little bit more about those in more detail. It's still quite early days because we only just purchased the property, and we still need to work on, there'll be many variations, many iterations of planning before we get to a final plan, as well as a plan that gets approved by the council, by the Brisbane City Council. This is obviously the main building on the property. That's the heritage listed one. Then maybe now we'll take a walk to the back and we'll have a look at the back building. We are working on various plans at the moment, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But yeah, so we're trying to figure out a plan that would suit a growing community. So there is a potential that the temple might be in here in the beginning. But later on, we'd probably build a new or extend and make a bigger place to have a much larger temple hall. Because otherwise we won't, as the community keeps growing, we won't be able to hold everybody in this space. But regardless of where the deities are, whether they are here in another building, this is a beautiful spot, so we'll be looking to try and make some nice arrangement with this place here. Even if the deities move to another building, which is still undecided yet, we're still working on the plans. But you can see that there are many possibilities. We could have library spaces, seminar spaces where we can do classes and talks and education, spiritual education. We could even do events and weddings and all kinds of things. So we could use it for a variety of purposes. And so we're trying to work on a way that has the best outcome for the deities, the best outcome for the community, and makes the best use of the space. So if everybody wants, let's take a walk now, and we'll have a look at the building at the back. You can either come down down the stairs at the front or the stairs at the back? How are you? Well, a lot of people are coming. You guys will come up.
Oh, glories.
माता जी कैसे
पहले ऊपर चलो ऊपर टेंपल देखते हैं
I think we just lost everybody.
They're all going for Prasadam.
They started serving?
Yeah.
This tour still begins on the video tour still begins. I mean, still continues. You still got two with you.
Alright, well, we'll do a 3-person tour.
Oh.
So this building
We
is
thought we
not
lost everyone.
It'll be a little bit. So it will be like there's an easier chance of getting council approval to making adjustments to it. So we're still working out how we might do that, whether we would extend the back this way or extend the back that way, whether we would square off the building, but then then it leaves less room for traffic, and so we're trying to work on various ways to make the best use of the place. So in the beginning, this could be anything. It could be a kitchen or a prasadam hall. Later on, it could also potentially be a temple room, or we would build another building entirely on the back that would be a temple room. So there are many different options that we're working on, and we'll be working with. We've got a town planner that we're working with, and we're also working with the local council for the local area, Sarah Hutton, and we'll be then, of course, working with the council to seek approval on what would be the best options, for us to live with. We're not at the stage of getting an architect yet because first we need the layout. Once we have the layout, then we can design, and when the design comes in, that's when an architect. And it also at this point, because we're not doing everything from scratch, which is a big benefit of this place, we may or may not need an architect. An architect is if you're going to do a whole thing and you want to build some particular type of style of building. But if we're just building something very functional, we can still make it look very nice and get it done at a budget that is affordable to the community, and try and make a space that that we can have big programs and festivals where everybody can attend. But overall, we've got quite a decent amount of space, as you can see on the lawn. Whether we build another building there for a temple, or whether we would extend this, or whether we would keep this as a kitchen or build another building for a kitchen. And all of those decisions are also based on various council requirements. So for example, building a kitchen in here would be easier technically than building a whole new building, because not just because when you're building commercial kitchens, there are all kinds of requirements when you do it from scratch. But if you just renovate an existing building and you put one in there, there are slightly fewer requirements. So there's many different factors like that, and we're considering all of these things, and we're getting guidance from the Brisbane Council as well, just to make sure that we do the right thing by the community, but also try not to hold up everything unnecessarily long. But yeah, look, everybody, prasadam is now being served, so I would encourage everybody, please go and grab some prasadam, eat, and then make your way back into the tent, and then we'll start the official proceedings. Thank you.
माधवाचार्य
Oh, glories to the distributors of Krishna Prasad. Oh, glories to the distributors of Krishna Prasad. The first Prasad getting served at the new Prasadam getting served at the new temple. Oh, glories to the distributors of Krishna Prasadam. Oh, glories to the distributors of Krishna Prasadam. Oh, glories to the distributors of Krishna Prasadam. The first of the Puris getting served at the new temple. May there be maybe million more to come. Jai. Hare Krishna. Jai ho, new temple ki jai.
Don't go.
Jai. Jai ho. All glories to you, assembled devotees. Oh, glory to you, assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Gauranga, Nityananda, Gaura Hari.